Interrogation room video shows Parkland shooter Nikolas Cruz sobbing in brother's arms. Parkland shooter Nikolas Cruz has been captured on interrogation room video sobbing into his brother's arms after confessing to murdering 17 people. Cruz, 19, was interviewed by police just hours after the February 14 shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. During almost 12 hours in the Broward Sheriff's interrogation room, Cruz confessed to the mass shooting, and told officers he wanted to die, at one point aiming his fingers like a gun at his head, and repeatedly asked for his brother Zachary, 18. Footage shows Zachary sitting across from his brother, who is handcuffed and in a hospital gown, begging him to explain why he'd gone on the killing spree. "People think you're a monster now," Zachary told him. "A monster?" Cruz asked. "This is not who you are," Zachary continued. "Like, why? Why did you do this?" He then snapped at Cruz not to laugh at him. The shooter replied, "I'm sorry dude, but redactions in the video means it's not clear if he's apologizing for laughing or for the mass shooting." Zachary demanded to know, "What do you think mom would think right now if she was?" Their mother Linda, who adopted them as newborns from the same birth mother, died of pneumonia 3 months before the shooting. "She would cry," both brothers echoed. Despite the shocking crimes his brother confessed to, Zachary wanted to let his brother know that he was still there for him. "I know what you did today," he told him. "Other people look at me like I'm crazy. But I don't care what other people think. I am your brother, I love you." At that point, Cruz began loudly wailing, and so Zachary asked the detective present if he could hug his brother. The teen wrapped his arms around Cruz, who buried his head into his shoulder and began sobbing uncontrollably. "You really messed up this time. No one can get you out of this, dog," Zachary told him as he cried. "I'm sorry," Cruz said. "I love you." The brothers have had a complicated relationship, and growing up, Cruz said he was bullied by his younger sibling, something that Zachary touched upon during their 15-minute conversation. He acknowledged that he made it seem like I didn't care about you when we were growing up and I made it seem like I hate you, but he explained he'd just been trying to survive. "I didn't want to seem like I didn't want to look weak," he said, apologizing for being a dumb jerk. "I love you with all my heart. I'm telling you right now I love you." He also reminded him of a promise he made after their adoptive mother's death. "I told you when we were walking down the hallway that it's just me and you and I had your back," Zachary said. "You probably felt like you had nobody, but I care about you. I literally would pull my heart out for you." The brothers reminisced a little about their childhoods, but the 18-year-old was keen to press Cruz about his repeated threats of suicide. The gunman has told investigators repeatedly that he wants to die. And interrogation video, from when he was left alone for a moment, showed Cruz mutter, "Kill me, just effing kill me." Zachary said he's cried at the thought of his brother killing himself. Cruz replied, "I'm a failure, dude." "You're not right in the head," said his brother. "Just don't hurt yourself," he urged as detectives told them their time was up. "Please do not kill yourself. Try to find God. Be strong for me. I'll do it for you," Cruz replied. The video was released by prosecutors on Wednesday. It was taken minutes after Cruz's confession to Broward Sheriff's Detective John Curcio. The nearly 12 hours of video of the interview were edited to remove Cruz's direct confession. He claims a demonic voice in his head urged him to do violence. The video appeared to show an agitated, on-edge Cruz trying to get his emotions under control. At one point when Cruz is left alone in the room, the video shows him making a gun motion with his hand, raising at his head and pretending to pull the trigger. Later, he is seen punching himself hard in the face with both hands and occasionally scratching at his right arm with a small object he picked up off the floor. Much of the conversation between Cruz and the detective focused on what the 19-year-old insisted was a voice he had been hearing for years that told him things like burn, kill, destroy. At one point when Cruz is left alone in the room, he was captured on camera repeatedly making a gun motion with his hand and pretending to shoot himself in the head and chest. The video and redacted 200-page transcript of Cruz's post-shooting statement were released after a judge ruled last month that non-confession portions should be made public. Details of the shooting are blacked out, but the transcript is wide-ranging, dealing with the death of Cruz's parents, his penchant for killing animals, his former girlfriend, his brother, guns, suicide attempts and, especially, the voice. The detective asked if the supposed voice had given specific instructions related to the massacre, including the fact that Cruz took an Uber to the high school. Cruz asked, "The voice didn't tell you to take Uber, right?" Cruz replied, "Yes, it did." The teenager went on to say that he had tried to kill himself twice before the massacre because the voice had told him to. He tried to overdose on ibuprofen after the death of his mother in November. He told Curcio the voice appeared after his father died about 15 years ago but got worse after his mother died in November. Cruz described the voice as a male, about his age, and that the only person he ever told about it was his brother. Cruz also admitted to taking drugs like Xanax and marijuana. According to the transcript, Cruz told the detective he bought the AR-15 for $560 from a gun shop and purchased the ammunition online. He estimated spending about $4,000 on weaponry. He said he bought the rifle because it was cool looking. When he was left alone again in the interview room, Cruz told himself, "I want to die." At the end, "You're nothing but worthless dude. You deserve to die because you're effing worthless and you effing unintelligible, everyone. I want to die." Cruz's attorneys